Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going through the best and worst tattoo TikToks. Let's jump into it. We got a doozy of an episode, but we're starting with some good stuff. This is beautiful tattooing from Morocco. Now, when I see this type of tattooing, I go, all great art repeats. Like, this is amazing, beautiful stuff. Obviously really crude, really like in the skin, tribally looking stuff. But man, oh man, does it look amazing. Just stop on this woman for a second and let's just cherish that she exists with those sleeves, okay? Just beautiful types of tattooing. Honestly, if you can't appreciate it, you're a dum-dum and I hate you. Truly, truly one of the worst human beings alive. No, just kidding. But truth, yeah, that's how I feel. Amazing, beautiful tattooing. Mandir Rocks tattoo. I believe they're from Morocco. Maybe they're not. I don't know, but they're beautiful. Go look at them. It's great. On to the next. Now, today's episode has a theme. We don't normally have themes, and I accidentally came upon this theme, and I really wouldn't have known unless I had already filmed this video and then realized that the camera was messed up. So I'm refilming it, and I'm telling you, we have a theme. That theme is young tattooers starting to notice cracks in the tattoo business, industry, trade. Different things, different aspects. We're gonna jump into it. This is a girl who finally realized that tattoo conventions suck.
Yesterday, the owner of the Ink the Bay tattoo convention that's supposed to be happening this weekend in Tampa, Florida, posted this video.
Be sad to know that I've had to, that the Envision this year has been postponed.
So the event is canceled / postponed, and now today that video has been fully taken down. There's been no official announcement by the Ink the Bay convention that this is going to be canceled, and these 200+ artists are now just displaced across Florida with no way to be able to get their...
Okay, so that sucks. Tattooers getting ripped off sucks. Hate it, hate to see it, duh. Tattoo conventions suck. There's probably what, like 300 tattoo conventions a year? How many tattoo conventions happen in America each year? Let's ChatGPT it. Woo! 376. Rough. 300 to 400, something like that. That is insane. Look, as a tattooer who has a deep appreciation for tattooing, tattoo conventions have sucked for the since I got into tattooing. I remember hearing stories, oh, tattoo conventions, you make a lot of money, they're so fun. I went to a handful, did a couple, it was like, these suck, they suck, okay? With the exception of a handful, which I will name now. It's a long, long list of great tattoo conventions. Salt Lake City Tattoo Expo, from what I've heard, I haven't been there in a handful of years, very nice. When I was there last, maybe, I don't know, 8 years ago, very nice. The Pagoda Tattoo Convention, I believe that happens in New York, happening soon, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. From what I've heard, very nice. Looking at their tat lineup, I would argue that it's probably very extremely good. Okay, that's my long list of good tattoo conventions that I know of as a tattooer. Why do they suck? Because they suck, okay? Usually, the people running the convention don't really care about tattooing as much as they care about making the money from the convention. How they make money? I have no clue. How the business works at all. What I know, as a tattooer, they suck. As a person visiting a tattoo convention, they suck. I'm sure there's a handful more, especially like a smaller one. I remember like the SF convention used to be so cool. Invitational only type of ones, they're pretty nice. They usually are nice, they're enjoyable. Are they money makers for tattooers anymore? I don't think so. I think they're garbage, okay? Go to a tat shop. Go to a rad tat shop in your city and just look around. Be like, hey, this is nice. And then go home, or get a tattoo. It's much better than most conventions. I will say, I went to see her tattoos. Very nice. On to the next. Okay, this is Matteo Mooney, and I struggle here. This tattoo is very cool, okay? Do I know whether this tattoo will look good in 10 years? I think it will. Do I know if it will look good in 30 years? I think it probably will, okay? Is that what I usually care about when it comes to tattoos? Yes. And I love this tattoo, okay? I love this tattoo. Now, Matteo Mooney, don't know him, never heard of him, never seen his work before. I like his style. I deep dived. I was like, this is a very unique way of tattooing. And I deep dived. I went tattoo for tattoo. I'm kind of doing it right now as we speak. And 85% of his tattoos, I love. Like, they're interesting. The art is unique. It reminds me of Ruko. I don't know if any of you will know who Ruko is. RUCO ____. Like, maybe it's just because I use the same Sharpies. I don't know. But I like this guy. I like it. And this is one of those times like where whenever I show someone who does a style that I just love, I go, great tattoos, super cool, interesting, look at this person, yada, yada. This is like one of those times where I'm like, I love his tattoos, and this person is forcing me to question what I know a good tattoo to be and what a bad tattoo is. Because I look at it and I go, maybe it's bad. Like, just fun, like the way it will heal and stuff like that, not like whether the art's good or bad. Like, just looking at the technical aspect, I go, maybe it's bad. And then I look at it and I see healed photos and I'm like, no, dude, you're wrong. This is just good, interesting tattooing. Some of them miss. At least on my side, I don't know what the image is. That's fine. The rest, I'm like, dude, this guy's a killer. And he's forcing me to rethink what I think a good tattoo is. Like, if what a good tattoo is like right here, he just opened that hole a little bit bigger for me. Thank you, Matteo Mooney, because you're doing something interesting, and this is what I like to see in tattooing. Next, back to the theme of young tattooers finding cracks. I think Matteo Mooney also fits in that in a weird way, but yes, let's listen to this guy.
There's a shift happening in tattooing right now, and not a lot of people are talking about it. For years, tattooers accepted giving away 50%, sometimes more of their income to shop owners, but that's changing.
Okay, let's start with that 50%. Look, 50% is really rare in tattoo shops. The only time I think a shop can get away with taking 50% is if they are a very busy walk-in shop. Like, if you're in the middle of nowhere, Podunk, Utah, something like that, and you're the only shop and you have a really good, solid team of tattooers that you have helped bring up, 50% seems reasonable, especially if it's cranking in walk-ins. Like, if those tattooers are making more at your shop giving you 50% than they would be at any other shop not dropping 50%, it makes sense. Having said that, most people don't pay 50%. Most people pay either 40% or 30% to the shop for every tattoo. In case you don't know what that means, if you do a $100 tattoo, you're giving $30 to $40 back to the shop. That's very reasonable.
Seeing collectives pop up, artists working together and supporting each other, splitting costs fairly instead of one person pocketing the majority while the others grind. Now, I'm not saying every shop owner is bad. There are some good ones out there, but artists are waking up to the fact that they don't have to be taken advantage of. With tattooing going mainstream, we're starting to see traditional power structures dissolve, and young artists would rather work solo or with a crew that has the same mindset than hand over half of their income just to say they work in a shop. If tattoo shop...
Okay, I just spit on my leg. It's disgusting. Okay, let's break this down. I love this type of energy. Tear it down, break it apart, try something new. I'm in. I think it's flawed. I think it's flawed in this circumstance. I think that most young tattooers will see this and be like, yeah, why am I giving away 50%, 40%, 30% of my tattoos to the shop? Bros, you don't have to. Go anywhere else. Do it somewhere. Do it at home, or do it at a shop that does, or do a collective. I promise you, those things are going to fail in mass because they're not as easy or as good as they sound. Look, you want to see something crumble fast? Put a bunch of tattooers in a room and tell them to build a business, and all of them are golden little butterflies that deserve equal opportunity amongst each other. Crumble, bro. That is the fastest way to watch things pop up and go away. And I mean this as an artist, and I mean that as someone who's managed artists. Those idiots, myself included, cannot come together and figure things out unless there's one person who's like, I got this. I'm the leader. This is my shop. I take care of it. You want a home to be at? Let me take care of it for you. If all of them come together as a collective, like some places try, most of them will fail. There's obviously places where that doesn't fail or takes a while to fail, but they will. And I don't think that they're as good as most people sound. It just seems like stress spread around 4 people rather than stress on one person who's there to like keep the place alive. That's what you're paying shops owners for. Keeping this place alive. That's it.
If tattoo shop owners want to survive the shift, they'll have to adapt, offering fair splits and real incentives, because good tattooers aren't just sticking around for the logo on the door.
Yeah. I don't see that being a great shift in tattooing. Will there inevitably be a lot of young tattooers who try it? For sure. Do I think a lot will come back to this old system? Yeah. And I think there's just like an argument to be made that this type of dialogue only happens when times are slow. This video did not come out in 2021 or 2022 or 2023. It came out in 2025 when everybody knows that tattooing is suffering as a whole. When times get tough, people get loud about their complaints. Fun facts. Next.
Calling all tattoo artists to shut the f up. Y'all are so opinionated. For nothing. If you don't like fine line tattoos, just don't fucking do them. If they charge more than you, but you tattoo better than them, shut the up. If somebody's like self-taught, shut up. Just because they weren't bullied for 2 years before they could touch a tattoo machine, but oh well. Just because you do tattoos don't make your opinion worth.
How am I going to phrase this? I like this energy so much. It's my type of energy. I just disagree with these people for reasons that I think we can all discuss. I'm the same age as a lot of these guys, but I feel kind of old in comparison to my thought process. Maybe because I'm an owner of a shop, maybe because I've been tattooing probably longer than most of these people. Like realistically, I've been in tattoo shops a lot longer than most young tattooers. Got in at 19 and I'm 34 now. Most people get into tattoo shops closer to 25, 26, 27. So I don't want to be the old guy, but I'm going to be the old guy just to disagree for the hell of it. Because I think that this type of stuff is great, but I think that it can also be bad for tattoo artists. Just like the way you think about tattooing. So if you are of the mindset that people shouldn't talk, I disagree with you as a human being. And it's hard to have any growth in a business or a trade without people talking. That's just fun facts. Fun facts. It's hard to grow and change tattooing if everyone is quiet. That's like my viewpoint on this statement of shut the f up, right? Also, I'm aware this could also feel pointed towards me. As a human, he's saying, people like me need to shut up. I'm aware of that bias in my direction. Let's go through and tell you why I think this guy's stupid.
Calling all tattoo artists to shut the f up. Y'all are so opinionated.
First off, tattooers in general, they have had opinions and they shared them amongst themselves. But this is the first time in the tattoo world where people have freely shared opinions. This is like the opposite effect of what you guys used to call gatekeeping. The same exact person was like, oh my God, no one talks about anything in tattooing. And then everyone starts talking about everything in tattooing and they're like, everyone needs to shut up because your opinions are stupid. And it's like, hey bro, pick one lane or the other. I don't know you. I'm sure you probably made statements about gatekeeping. Next part of this.
For nothing. If you don't like fine line tattoos, just don't fucking do them. If they charge more than you, but you tattoo better than them, shut the up. If somebody's like self-taught, shut up. Just because they weren't bullied for 2 years before they could touch a tattoo machine, but oh well. Just because you do tattoos don't make your opinion worth.
Okay, that last little bit, the only people whose opinions of tattooing that really means anything are the people who dedicate their lives to it. I'm sorry. That's just true for anything, right? You dedicate your life to something, your opinion about the thing, whether or not is good or bad, is at least interesting and worth saying. The only people who are negatively affected by not saying things about scratchers and flawed tattoo styles are the client. Because if they don't hear it, they don't know, and that's a problem. So if you're a tattooer out there and you got a strong opinion, share it, my dude. I like it. I like the energy. Even if it's to tell me to shut up or tell anybody to shut up, go for it. We don't care. We don't care in the sense that like it ain't gonna stop real tattooers from sharing their opinions. Okay, it says getting my face tattooed with Tourettes syndrome.
Whoa! Go. Oh! There you go. Oh, open your mouth, babe. You got big welly, by the way. Go. Fuck, that hurts. Boner. Stop.
I've tattooed people with Tourette's, and I've tattooed a kid with Parkinson's, which was crazy, so sad. But it was definitely hard to tattoo him. I applaud any tatter who's willing to take the chance. Good for you. You're a strong, brave individual. I applaud you. I hope this tattoo is exactly what he wants. I don't like the tattoo. Fun facts, I don't like the tattoo. Would I ever like the tattoo? No. But, you know, hey, whatever. That's on my face. And, yeah. Next, speaking of face tattoos, okay. 2 things popped into my head. 1, active, dude. Any SoCal, Inland Empire, maybe some Orange County, maybe some LA knows about active. If you're my age, you're like, dude, active. Active was a skate shop in our area. Actually, fun facts that I didn't even think about until right now. My mentor, Mikey Tay, tattoos out of Oceanside at a place called Arcade. Mikey Tay, the man, worked at an active that I went to all the time as a kid. And we definitely met when I would have been between, he would have been 16 to 18, so he was 10 years older than me. I would have been 6 to 8, and I for sure went to that active, and I for sure met my mentor 10 years before I ever knew about tattooing, and it was at an active in Chino. That's fun. That's a little tidbit for you guys. Okay, you outline something in all red, no matter how much I like it, no matter how much nostalgia it fills my gut with. Look at those red lines, dude. Do they look straight? No. Would they ever look straight? I don't think so. Honestly, what are we doing here? On to the next. This is Al Carlo Tattoos, one of my favorite tattooers. He does super weird things. I don't know how to explain it. It's like half traditional, half tribal, half weird as all hell. This is probably not the best representation of his work because it looks kind of fresh in a weird kind of way. Sometimes when you do a big scale tattoo, you really need a healed photo like a few weeks, few months, few years down the road. This final product probably doesn't tell you how cool it is unless you saw it. If you saw this, you'd be like, that's one of the coolest sleeves I've ever seen. I love this guy's tattoos. There's nothing else to it. On to the next. So back to our theme of the day. Young tatters doing things that I disagree with or saying things that I disagree with. Both. Point of view, you hustled all year to save up to open your own tattoo shop, but you're struggling to get clients. Hey dude, I feel ya. That sucks. What is that song? I know that song. I don't know. Okay, this is real life stuff. We were just talking about this earlier. I said, hey, most people who try and do this thing on their own, like owning a tattoo shop, are gonna fail. You're gonna fail. Like, some of you will succeed. I just know, because I've done the math a ton of times in my head, and I've done the real life experience of like opening up tattoo shops, you don't got it. Probably not. Like, probably most of you don't got it. That rent's gonna get too expensive. Supplies is gonna get too expensive. You're not busy enough. It's gonna fail. Like for a lot of you. If you're a young tatter out there and you're like, oh, I wanna do this on my own, I wanna open up my own shop, it's gonna fail probably. And if it doesn't, Good for you. I'm proud of you. It's amazing. You are a unique little golden butterfly. And that's fine. You don't need to hear me say you're going to fail because you're not. Good for you. The rest of you, probably going to fail. And you need to hear that. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm not saying that to be like, oh, Kirk, he doesn't support young tattooers. I'm just telling you, I've done the numbers, I've lived the experience. It's not as simple as you think, and you're probably not going to be as successful as you think. Just saying. If you are, sick. Big ups. Next. Okay, this guy is talking about tattoo culture, but I can't use the music because it's some music. So I'm going to try and read it to you. I don't F with most of the tattoo culture. I don't. I never did. Since day one, I effing hate it. It's fake. It's entitled. I'm not talking about some great tattoo artists. There are great tattoo artists. Not saying everyone, but generally speaking, most people are just money grabbers and so lazy, so entitled. And I don't think as a tattoo artist, I carry a certain responsibility. You're inking someone, okay? You're not. I'm doing such a bad job. I was doing great, did such a bad job. He said something like, there's a lot of responsibility in tattooing. You're giving someone a permanent thing. Being lazy is not a great thing in that, okay? Now, I get this kid's sentiment, and I think he's 100% wrong. I think that the vast majority of tattooers, young tattooers, old tattooers, truly, deeply care about their clients. I just don't think this kid has either been surrounded by the right people or his ego is so big that it clouds up all of his judgment. Because I have tattooed with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tattooers, and even with their massive egos, and even with my massive ego, I can see in all of them how much they deeply care about their clients. Whether they do their job well or not probably doesn't matter. If you're saying that most tattooers don't care about their clients, which in this way he's saying most of us only do it for the money or only do it for like our own whatevers, I will argue to the ends of the earth that most tattooers deeply, deeply care about their clients on a level that like is painful, you know? And even when I disagree with someone who does like fine line or color realism and I think that they're scammy pieces of crap, I am sure that from their perspective, they are doing their best. That, I think, is true. But as people, I'm sure that most of them care deeply. They're just wrong. And this guy's wrong. I'm sure he has great intentions, but I think he's a jabroni, okay? If you didn't fit in, you weren't meant to, and, whatever, you know? Everyone else sucks but me. No, dude. Everybody sucks, including you, including me. I think that's all I got. Oh, Ozzy died. Everyone's getting an Ozzy tattoo. That is where I'm gonna end it. Let's let this clip roll. R.I.P. Oz-E. Guy looked like he was having a rough go. I hope he's resting easy somewhere beautiful. R.I.P. There is one little thing. He had some really cool tattoos really early on. He's a huge part of tattooing without being a part of tattooing. Catch you later.